Hello, dear students. Today we are going to continue our talk about the animal world, and the theme of our lesson today is bats. Open your books at page 24, exercise 1, vocabulary. Look at the picture. Use the words in the list to label the body parts. Now, let's check. Listen and repeat.
Ear, foot, tail, nose, knee, eye, elbow, thumb, wrist, finger.
Now let's get acquainted with new words, listen to them, repeat and write down them in your vocabularies.
Bounce off,
Determine. Gravity.
high-pitched, pest control, pollinate,
Tendon.
In the second exercise, you are to look at the sentence and to define which of them you think are true about bats. Let's check. Bats are not birds. They don't live in extreme cold areas. They help transfer pollen from plant to plant. Now you are to read the text to check if your answers were correct. Listen to information.
Bats versus birds. Bats are mammals and not birds. Bats are nocturnal animals. Bats have fur, not feathers. Bats have sharp teeth, not beaks. Bats give birth to live young.
And let's watch the video.
Anne Froschauer. Anne Froschauer is a chiropterologist, meaning she studies bats. She chose this unusual career because bats are the coolest mammals on Earth. There are more than 1,300 species of bats worldwide. They can live almost everywhere on Earth, except the most extreme deserts and polar regions. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Bats' wings are really flexible, and they can move them a lot of different ways. They have the same kinds of bones in their wings that humans have in their arms and hands. There are two types of bats, megabats and microbats. Megabats are often called flying foxes and can weigh over a kilogram, with a wingspan of 1.7 meters. Microbats come in all shapes and sizes, with the smallest weighing just 2.6 grams, with a wingspan of 15 centimeters. Bats only come out in the evening and at night, and it's a common belief that they are blind. They actually have pretty good eyesight. But, like humans, their eyesight isn't very useful when it's dark outside and bats are active. Instead of using their eyes, many bats use echolocation. By listening to the sounds that bounce back, bats can determine where things are, how big they are, and if they are moving. Bats are very selective about what they eat. Nearly 75% of bat species will only consume insects. Most of the rest eat just fruit, and vampire bats in Central and South America drink blood. Bats are hard at work each night, eating tons of insects, pollinating flowers, and spreading seeds that grow new plants and trees. Bats have special tendons in their feet that let them hang upside down while being totally relaxed. They don't get dizzy when they're upside down because they're so small that gravity doesn't make as much blood rush to their heads. Bats certainly are fascinating. Do you agree that they're the coolest mammals on Earth?
Now read the text again and fill in the gaps with the sentences. And remember that one sentence is extra. Now let's check. 1. It's D. That's 20% of all mammal species. 2. It's F. We asked Anne if this was true. Number 3. A. Most of the rest eat just fruit and nothing else. 4. C. But did you know that bats can help get your dinner on the table? And the last, B. It allows them to take off quickly also. Exercise 4. You are to complete the text using the words. Let's check. The lesser mouse-eared bat is a small mammal found in most parts of Europe and Central Asia, including Kazakhstan. It weighs about 23 grams and has a wingspan of 35-40 centimeters. It doesn't have very good eyesight in the dark, so it uses its sense of smell and a system of echolocation to find out about its surroundings and locate food. However, chiropterologists suspect that it doesn't emit high-pitched sounds when hunting because it eats insects which might hear these noises. It hunts in farmland and grassland habitats and helps with the pollination of plants. It is also beneficial to humans when it comes to pest control because it consumes so many insects. It sleeps in caves, tree hollows, and even old buildings. Like all bats, it rests upside down, keeping a strong hold on its perch with the tendons in its feet. Its small size means gravity doesn't make its blood rush to its head. And now let's speak about grammar. Impersonal sentences. They are sentences that have no natural subject. We usually have the word there or it in the subject position. We use there, be, to say that someone or something exists.
There are a lot of colorful fish here.
We use it plus be for identification.
Who is it, Mary?
It's the pizza delivery man.
We use it with the verb be for distance, temperature, time, weather.
It's cold and wet, but fortunately, it's only a few meters till I reach my house.
We use it plus be in expressions such as it seems, appears that, it looks like, it doesn't matter, etc.
It seems that the seagulls are looking for fish in the sea.
We use you, one, more formal to refer to people in general, anyone, not someone particular.
You mustn't swim here. One mustn't swim here.
We use they followed by the verb say, believe, etc. to refer to people in general.
They say pandas are among the world's most threatened animals.
We use they to refer to a group of people, for example, an organization, people in authority, and so on.
They breed tigers in this zoo.
Now in exercise 5, you are to find examples of impersonal sentence in the text. Let's check. It's dark outside. It seems that bats are very selective. You've all heard of the vampire bats. Now you are to choose the correct item. It's cold and dark in the cave. They help endangered species in the zoo. It appears that they are sleeping now. There's a colony of bats inside. The research program is now open. If interested, one can apply online. And now let's remember reported speech. Direct speech is the exact word somebody said. You use quotation marks in direct speech. Reported speech is the exact meaning of what somebody said, but know the exact words. We do not use quotation marks in reported speech. Reported speech is introduced with an introductory verb, say, tell, etc., and with the word that, which can be omitted. When the introductory verb say, tell, etc. is in the past simple, the tenses change as follows. Present simple into past simple, present continuous into past continuous, past simple into past simple or past perfect, past continuous into past continuous or past perfect continuous, present perfect in past perfect, and will becomes would, can, could.
I work at the animal shelter every weekend.
She said. She said she worked at the animal shelter every weekend. She said that she worked at the animal shelter every weekend.
The tenses do not change in reported speech if the verb that introduces the speech is in the present, future, or present perfect.
I love swimming with dolphins.
He says. He says he loves swimming with dolphins.
In reported speech, personal, possessive pronouns, and possessive adjectives change according to the meaning of the sentence.
I will take a photo of us to send to your parents.
She said. She said she would take a photo of them to send to their parents.
In reported speech, time expressions change as follows: now into then, immediately at that moment. This morning, evening, you will change into that, evening, morning, and so on. Today, tonight, that day, that night. Ago becomes before, yesterday, the day before, or previous day, tomorrow, the next day or following day, next week or month becomes the following week or month, and other words and expressions as these into that, these into those, here, there, come, go, bring, take.
I'm going to take more pictures in this area tomorrow.
He said. He said he was going to take more pictures in that area the next day. He said he was going to take more pictures in that area the following day.
Now let's look in the text. There is a reported statement as Anne told us that she had chosen this unusual career because bats are the coolest mammals on the earth. A reported question, we ask Anne if this was true, and a reported statement with a special introductory verb. She explained that instead of using their eyes, many bats use echolocation, making really high-pitched sounds that bounce off objects. In exercise 7, you are to change the following from direct into reported speech, as it is done in the example. We are studying a rare mammal species, the lecturer said to the students. And you will say, the lecturer told the students that they were studying a rare mammal species. Finish this exercise yourselves. And in exercise 8, you are to use the introductory verbs in brackets to report what was said. Where did you see the fox? John said to Anne. Ask. You will say, John asked Anne where she had seen the fox. You are also to finish this exercise yourselves.